Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United beat Sociedad 1-0 like they beat us 1-0 at Old Trafford, but their goal difference is better. So we finished second in the group and we will therefore play 2 extra games in February, potentially against Ajax, Leverkusen, Barcelona, Sevilla, Shakhtar, Juventus, Sporting or RB Salzburg. And we've only got ourselves to blame. I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I think we're going to suffer because of this. I think Ten Hag knows it as well. We cannot afford to be playing 2 more games. Our squad. I mean, the irony is that we saw tonight why we didn't finish top of the group and why we can't afford to play two more games. We just haven't got the squad. We didn't have the squad tonight. You know, Ronaldo probably did need to be taken off. We've got no alternative. We've got Bruno playing on the right. Garnacho comes off the left for Fred. We just don't have the options, and we think we're going to have the options post-January when we come back from the World Cup and we're playing 3 games a week. We've still got 2 Premier League games outstanding, and now we've got 2 more Europa League games. We are going to fall off next year. We're going to fall off a cliff. We do not have the squad, and that is a big blow for Manchester United. But credit to Sociedad. We didn't deserve to win by 2 goals. I think the big enduring thing for me was that Sociedad had 13 shots and 4 on target. We had 4 shots and 1 on target. Let me just read that back. Sociedad, who didn't need to win, had 13 shots with 4 on target. We had 4 shots with 1 on target. We needed to score by 2 goals. We just weren't good enough. We weren't good enough, and we've got to take it on the chin. We didn't even have 1 shot on target in the second half, says Anthony Jury. I mean, look, there's lots to talk about, and welcome to the Members Club, KB, but I don't really understand why we brought Harry Maguire on and Scott McTominay on. I don't understand. People were saying, well, it's for a bit of height, and I'm like, we've not been near their box. We've not put any crosses into their box. Why are we putting Harry Maguire on at front when we're nowhere? Bring players on to get us near the box. Like, it was weird. It was just a weird performance from United. And look, there were positives. I think the back 4 and Casemiro and De Gea, I never thought they were going to score. And that's where the missed opportunity was. I don't think Sociedad were ever going to score. I thought they played good football. I think they moved the ball around much better than us. I thought our passing was terrible, but our defence was good. Martinez played well. Dalot played well. Lindelof played well. Casemiro played well. De Gea made good saves. But the defence gave us the platform to win the game. But the midfield and the attack, in an attacking way, just didn't create the chances to score 2 goals. We got 1, and that was our limit. It is only 2 extra games. Worst thing is if players feel like this is a loss, is Rory. Rory, you need to look at things properly, mate, and start, analysing the game better. We've already got too many games to play. We don't have the squad, and now we've got 2 more games to play. We're going to end up in April or March playing Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. It's going to be ridiculous. Average La Liga side, better than a top 6 Prem teams, as skeletons. No, well, mate, did you not see the scoreline? It was 1-0. I mean, I know you're probably trying to wind us up, United fans, but the score was 1-0 to Manchester United, mate. Caleb says, no cohesion in the team in the second half. Group of individuals running around. Hard to see this squad going further than round 16, says Caleb. Mark, I don't know how Ten Hag expected to win this game with the subs he brought on. You don't win by bringing on a defender for another defender, says KB. Can we just give up on the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup for the sake of the Premier League and the Europa League, says Luke. Look, we've got to buy in January. I don't want this to be about January transfer window. We'll talk about player ratings in a minute, but it's absolutely essential that we bring some players in. We're just going to fall apart. We don't have it. And I know Anthony, Sancho and Martial weren't there, and Varane is there to come back, but we're not going to have enough. We're just not going to have enough to be successful in the latter half of the season playing this many games. We should have come top of that. Penalty wasn't given, says Para. Look, the referee was crap. The ref was crap in that game at Old Trafford, and he was crap tonight. But I think sometimes you've got to be realistic, and Sociedad are doing the bloody Poznan here. I mean, I never thought it meant that much to them, but weird. Anyway, we should have topped that group. It's our own fault. But I'll go back to what I said before. We needed to win by 2 clear goals. Sociedad needed to just not be beaten by 2 clear goals. And yet they had 13 shots to our 4. And they had 3 shots on target and we had 1. We didn't we didn't play like a team that was trying to win a game by 2 goals. Like, you can win a game by... I mean, everyone's talking about 2-0, 4-2, 3-1, 5-3. We needed to open that game up. That's what disappointed me, is people are thinking about, oh, we're only 1 goal away, 2-0. We didn't need to play defensive counter-attack football to win by 2 goals. We should have opened the game up. Open the game up. Like, go on the front foot. And we couldn't do it. We couldn't build any momentum. Can we just give it... it really was tiredness. You could see first half, a lot of the team, including Bruno, was tired. Well, SK, if we're tired now, in early November, what are we going to be like in February, March and April? We had no ambition to win this game until 5 minutes left. Got to do better if we expect to win trophies, says KB. We needed more strength in attack. Could have done with an Anthony or a Martial off the bench, says Matthew. I agree with the tiredness. I think that we were lethargic throughout. Eriksen was terrible. We're all big fans of Eriksen. Terrible today. Obviously, Donny didn't play particularly well either. Bruno was, I don't know. Bruno, I mean, his crossing was diabolical. He refused crosses into the box. At the end, when we've got a corner, he plays it. I mean, explain that one to me. As a manager or a coach, you're pulling your hair out. We've got a corner. We've brought Maguire on. We've got McTominay on. We've got Ronaldo on. Casemiro. 4 players who are good in the air. We've got a corner with a minute to go. Bruno's on the corner. What does he do? Plays it short. We don't put the cross in. I mean, make it make sense. Worst thing is the Glazers will be happy about it. It says rest up. That was a mess by Ten Hag, playing players out of position, poor subs, putting Maguire up top. I blame the manager, says Sean. Eric Ten Hag, extra 2 games now. I definitely need players in January, says Javi. And Maguire up front. Eric Ten Dyche has lost his bloody mind. Shows us how incompetent Ten Hag is, says Muzzy. Ten Hag out. Look, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. It's a complete overreaction. The disappointment is that we've got to play 2 extra games and we've already had 2 Premier League games rescheduled. We've got too much football to play. We are a club that's always had problem with fitness. I think we're going to crumble next season, after Christmas. I think we're going to crumble. Like an apple crumble. We will crumble. Ronaldo provides nothing, says Kevin. But it's not about individual performances today. Collectively, I thought the first 10 minutes were dreadful. We were asleep. We were asleep. But what I would say is that Maguire going on up front did remind me of Phil Jones on corners. And every manager has a moment like that. Ten Hag got a lot wrong today, but he's my manager. I want him to do well. I think he's got a lot right. But today, he got it wrong. I've got to admit, long follower of your channel. Would love to meet you someday, says Dipan. Big shout to Lorcan from Limerick, Mark, says James. Thank you very much. But we got it wrong today. I think that whilst it wasn't fantastic first half, but we were 1-0 up and we were comfortable with the back 4. I was really surprised when on the hour we take Lindelof off to go to a back 3. And it just didn't work. And we brought McTominay on. And I don't understand why McTominay came on. He's tall, he's crap on the ball, and we weren't getting anywhere near their box. And then we compounded that by bringing Maguire up front. And I'm like, you brought McTominay and Maguire on, tall players. We're playing a team that's passing it around on the ground and we're nowhere near their box. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If we were laying siege to their goal with cross after cross, it makes sense, but we needed players to come on who can pass the ball. I think Palestri would have been a better sub than Maguire. Like, we needed to get on the ball. Their press was outstanding and they won every second ball. We couldn't get a grip on the game, says Tom. And what is the fuss here? This group has... sorry, let me just read that one. I need to read that one. This group has been decided by a penalty that wasn't a penalty at all. We had to go long ball because players were tired, says Abhishek. There's still a huge mentality issue in this team and we can't last more than 55 to 60 minutes, says Yellow. I'm not taking names, but some players didn't really give a full effort. More of this coming as the World Cup approaches. Can't really blame them, says Saham. I mean, that's an interesting thing. I don't think the World Cup really is a factor, but psychologically, I actually feel sorry for a lot of players. Timo Werner today, Ben Chilwell last night. Players are picking up injuries that they're going to pick up for their clubs, and it's putting them out of a World Cup that comes around every 4 years. This is down to FIFA and their greed of letting a World Cup be played halfway through a season in a place that a World Cup never normally would get played. And, you know, I think psychologically it is difficult for players the closer you get to it. But I'm I'm not making excuses for Manchester United. That's not an excuse. Akshay says this should show the desperation to the board. And I'm not having that a penalty was the reason that we didn't get through, because it shouldn't have been a penalty at Old Trafford. But anybody who watches football will know that Sociedad were way better on the ball than us. They pressed better than us. They moved the ball better than us. I think possession was about 50-50, but it didn't feel like it. They actually played as a team. They defended well as a team. They protected themselves as a team. They passed and moved as a team. They've just got no cutting edge. And they've got a lot of injuries as well. Our passing was the biggest problem with that game today. Whatever you say about Sociedad, they had 13 shots on goal. We had 4. 1 shot on target we had, and we're trying to score 2 goals. Our passing was horrendous today. Absolutely horrendous. Theirs was good. They were the better footballing side across both legs. If we'd have passed the ball well today, I think we would have got the result, but we didn't. The defence was good. The defence provided the platform, but passing was lazy. Maybe we were tired. It's not the end of the world. We're still in the Europa League. The 2 extra games are a headache. We're probably going to pull out Ajax or Barcelona. And people will go, oh, that's really exciting, Mark. We could get Ajax or Barcelona. When we pull out Ajax or Barcelona on Monday lunchtime, I will say this. Well, obviously it's going to be exciting, but actually what we should be doing is not even playing that game, waiting for Ajax or Barcelona later on in the group with our feet up. That's the thing that's frustrating. Obviously, if we do pull Barcelona or Ajax, people go, oh, it's great, the Europa League's great, but we shouldn't be playing them then. We should be sat with our feet up, playing the Premier League games that are outstanding, waiting to play them later in the tournament. That's the advantageous thing to do. Now we're going to have to do it the hard way with a squad that's not ready. So, yeah, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult. And I didn't want that to happen, but it has. Out of all Champions League teams that came third, who do you want to face? Says Not Dripping. Juventus or Salzburg, I suppose. Let's hope PSV want Donny. 10 million plus Donny for Gakpo will improve the squad no end, says Rory. You know what? I'm not going to get dragged into this Player FC thing. I think it's immature. I think we need to move on from it. I get it if you don't like Donny or Maguire or Ronaldo or Rashford or Bruno, but I'm a Manchester United supporter. I'm behind this manager. He's rotated the team. He picks the team. I don't always agree with what he does, but he's our manager, and I'm not interested in slagging off individual players, which I still see all the time on social media or on the live chat. I don't get it. I don't get it. I said it at half time. There are people who dislike Ronaldo who want him to miss. That's not being a Manchester United fan. I don't get it. Ten Hag has brought so much positivity. There has been glimpses of what we can be. We were absolutely shit last season. We were the worst Premier League side we've ever had. And in the space of 3 months, we've had glimpses of what we can be. It's going to be hard. The Glazers are going to have to back him properly every transfer window. But there has been glimpses, and we do have the right manager. So why, in that positive environment, are people still with the agendas against individual players? Like, it's toxic negativity we don't need in a very difficult situation. You may not like an individual player, but how can it be constructive towards this club rebuilding under Ten Hag if you are hating on individual players? Why do you support individual players? Why does Donny starting in the number 10 position cause you so much to get your knickers in a twist? Oh, I want Bruno there. Fuck Donny. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. If Maguire had scored that winning goal, that second goal for us today, I'd have celebrated it like any goal. We need to be together if we're behind this manager. And where Player FC exists, fractures are really there on the manager. And I don't want to see that. We should have scored 3 or 4 goals against the Mania. That game killed our chances, Thomas. Yeah, look, we are where we deserve to be. We are where we deserve to be. And we just got to take it. We didn't lose. We won. We finished second, which is what we deserve to do. And now we've got to play 2 extra games. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I want to do the player ratings. But what worries me is, and I'll say this now, Sunday, Aston Villa, Emery's in charge, all week off, at Villa Park. That's a recipe for disaster on Sunday. That team, United, look knackered. How many players are going to be back fit? That that's a problem on Sunday, because we the season can't implode. The Europa League is going to be very hard to win. The Premier League is really important that we get top four. It's if the opposition puts pressure, we're done. It's as simple as that. And then it just looks like we're not a footballing team, says Abby. Just a bunch of clueless individuals hoping something works. You know what, Abby? I think Lindelof's been a steady Eddie this season. And I actually thought Lindelof played well today. But we're a completely different team with Varane and not in it. Varane and Martinez at centre-back with Casemiro in the front just breeds confidence. But Michelle says you complain about Fred and McTominay constantly. I've not mentioned Fred in this show. I didn't understand bringing McTominay on. More than an attacker, we still need midfielders. Eriksen is just not a number 8. We need a proper number 8, says Soham. I think Eriksen's absolutely fine. He just had a bad day. I like the way he was willing to try Donny in the 10 role. It's okay that Ten Hag tries new things. It always works. That won't always work. So, you know what, Scott? On the Donny van de Beek thing, did Man United look a better team with Donny van de Beek and Lindelof on the team on the pitch, or did they look better with Rashford and McTominay on? We were a better team in the first 58 minutes. The subs didn't work. The tactical change didn't work. Thoughts, we were actually quite poor. Eriksen probably had his worst game. Ronaldo didn't contribute much. Look like we moved still positive though, says Sean. Sean, we've got to move on to Sunday, mate. We've got to move on to Sunday. And Sunday, to be honest with you, if we win on Sunday, happy days. The more we are Player FC, the easier it is for the Glazers to hide from blame, says Brian. Yeah. But look, I just before we do the player ratings, I really do think that Varane is a huge loss. I mean, it's an obvious huge loss. He's world class, but I think the team plays different with Varane in it. I think I think even though Lindelof did well today, I think we would have had a different Man United if Varane had been fit, but he's not fit. And we are where we are. We move on. Should have got Sir Alex to talk to the team before the game, says Samuel Campbell. And Daniel Kurtz, let's be honest, if the ref hadn't given the awful handball at Old Trafford, we would stop. You know what, Daniel? I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that excuse. It wasn't a handball at Old Trafford, and yes, we would have topped the group. But then again, Sociedad might have played differently here. Like, if we'd have drawn with them there, Sociedad would have needed a result here, wouldn't they? So it's all if buts and maybes. I think we are where we deserve to be in the group. And, that's just the way it is. Ref was crap, though, yeah. Okay, let's do the player ratings. I mean, for me, David De Gea was a 7 today, 7.2. Very, very good double save. Distribution, absolutely spot on. Confident De Gea is what I call him. Dave saves, but he's very confident. His passing was immaculate again. 2 big saves, did his job. I felt the defence looked very solid, and David De Gea was very, very good for us again. Again, I'd give the lower 7. I don't think he did anything wrong. Defensively, he looked good. Never really had the opportunity to get forward. I don't know where he gets the energy from. I mean, he seems to play 90 minutes every 2 days at the moment. But no, De Gea was steady again and, very reliable. And his passing was a bit wayward. We didn't really get him forward enough, which was a shame. But defensively, I thought he played well. Lindelof was probably a 6.5. I don't think he did anything wrong. Steady. I think he deserves to start ahead of Maguire. Whether he'll start on Sunday or not, probably not. But I would play Lindelof and Martinez. I think it works better. And I thought we were better with him on the pitch with the back 4 than we were with the back 3. Martinez, probably give him a 7. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, God. You know what? I don't think it would have made any difference, but that referee should have sent... I mean, Martinez has got the ball, goes into a 50-50 in possession of the ball, gets booked himself, and the player turns his back and puts his studs up. I mean, make it make sense. I thought there was a lot of bad decisions in the game, but that one was shocking. In the Premier League, it would have been a red. He goes into a 50-50 where he's not in possession of the ball, turns his back and puts his studs up. That was and Martinez gets booked. I agree. Eriksen is all right, but we can get the best out of him in number 10, says Soham. I thought Martinez was decent. Luke Shaw probably a 6 today. I don't think that was a good game from Luke Shaw. I thought Delo was better than Shaw tonight. I thought Shaw was very average. Lots of effort, lots of energy, but I wasn't impressed with Luke Shaw's performance tonight as much as Delo's. I thought he was okay, but yeah, I just think that there was more going off down the right-hand side than down the left-hand side. Let's put it that way. So I would give him an average 6 from Luke today, which is a shame because I feel that he's been so good getting forward over the last few games, and I just don't think we got forward enough. Casemiro 6.5. Yeah, Casemiro's just steady, isn't he? Does his job, and a steady 6.5 for Casemiro is a very good performance because he's a very, very good player. I thought the midfield was crap, and therefore Casemiro was probably the only one who was decent. So he was very, very busy, very combative, got involved. Our best midfielder, really. Definitely below average from Eriksen today. So many times he gave the ball away. He's not a very physical player anyway. He doesn't win many tackles. Obviously, he's not going to win many aerial duels. He's not particularly quick. So if Eriksen has a bad day creatively, then really there's not much else he can do, is there? We're second in the group because we were crap against Ammonius as Varane and away. Scrambling to get over the line. We deserve to finish second. No place to hide. No, we are where we deserve to be. I did call him a steady Eddie. If you know the joke, you know the joke. He's not a steady Eddie player. He had a steady performance. Donny van der Beek, probably a 5.5. Let's be honest. It wasn't a 4.8. But I don't get this. I really don't get this. What's Donny van der Beek done to be disliked by sections of our fan base? It's weird, isn't it? You can't pick your friends, you can't pick your family, and you certainly can't pick your fan base, can you? I just don't get it. What has Donny van der Beek that's done that's so offensive? He's probably one of the nicest guys in football. And there were people on social media when he got picked saying, I'm not watching it. Why is he playing? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what Donny van der Beek has ever done to offend United fans. I don't get it. But probably a 5.5. Probably the same for Bruno. I agree. I think you've gone a bit low with 4.8 and 4.9, but I'd go 5.5 for both of them. I don't think you can split either performance, really. It was, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Garnacho, 6.5 for me. Goal, very, very good. Young player. You got to promote these young players, and you got to give them confidence. Well, of course, Lucas gave him a 3. Lucas can't stand Donny van der Beek. He was on about him on his podcast the other day. We've all got our agendas, haven't we? But yeah, look, I think with Garnacho, he was quite quiet, really. And you're going to be quiet in a team that's not attacking a lot. But when we actually got the ball to him, I think he's a player that is an exciting player, and he scored a good goal. But Diego Costa has extended his contract at Porto until June 27. There is a release clause of 75 million euros. That's just clever. That's just clever by Porto at the end of the day, if you're interested in that. But yeah, I think Garnacho was decent. We've just got some Erik Ten Hag quotes coming in. Sorry, that's why I paused. He says, we're disappointed. We wanted to always be number one. And when we aren't, we're disappointed. But there we are. Also some positives, and we have to take them from here as well. On Garnacho, we need options. We have problems there with injuries. I'm really happy with his performance. He was a threat. Bruno has basically said, I play wherever the coach needs me to play. It's not my position, but I try my best to help the team. I'm playing on the right. Our goal for today was winning by a 2-goal difference. We tried everything, took more risks in the end. We knew they could get more chances. Another clean sheet is important, though. I mean, the captain of the team, isn't he? It's got to spin a positive, which is fair enough. Ronaldo, 5 for me. I don't really think that... Sorry, 5.5. I'd put him the same as Donny and Bruno. I think that the assist was good. The service was crap. It's the same old graveyard shift. And yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, it was disappointing. I don't want to individualize it. I'm not saying anybody was shit. I don't think that. I think most of the 5s or 5.5s come from the fact that generally our whole attack was just lazy, lethargic, and off. And it infected everybody. Tough luck for Donny today, but he played the position asked for him. We do have things to look forward to. Cheers, Mark, says Adam. Yeah, which is why I don't want to individualise it. I don't think it was the sort of performance where you individualise it. 5 from Rashford. I think he was trying too hard. I don't know what the plan was. He came into a position to play off Ronaldo, and I think Rashford was just so eager to try and make something happen that he overdid it. He overdid it too much. I don't think McTominay worked at all. 5. I just don't think that worked at all. I don't understand why that happened. He's not a player that's particularly good on the ball. He's a tall player, and we were playing a team that was dominating the ball and we couldn't get near their box, and they don't whip crosses in. So I don't think the McTominay sub really works. I would rather have seen, if we were going to do that, I'd have just put Donny next to Casemiro and Eriksen and brought Rashford on for Lindelof. I would have done that, but it didn't. Tactically, it didn't work the last half an hour, did it? I'd have brought Fred on a lot sooner. I'd have brought Fred on for Eriksen about 20 minutes before. I don't know what Fred's role was, but he seemed to be playing right-sided midfield, which put him onto his right foot, where he was trying to whip crosses with his right foot when he's left-footed. So again, that didn't work. The Maguire thing definitely didn't work. It's not his fault. He's thrown up front. It just didn't work. Seeing Harry Maguire up front, I think it's... I've seen Van Dijk go up front. You know, I have seen centre-backs who are tall go up front when you're desperate for a goal. But to make that work, you've got to be pumping long balls into the box. And we brought Maguire on with 10 minutes to go. We weren't even hitting those long balls until the last 2 minutes. So, yeah, that didn't work. And you know what? I'd give Ten Hag a 6. I don't agree with giving him a 4.8 because we won the game 1-0. We're judging this game because we didn't win it 2-0. It's very hard to win a game by 2 clear goals. It's very hard. We beat them 1-0. We've won a game of football. You can't give Ten Hag a 4.8 or a 5. We've won. We won the game. We're joint top of the group. But we didn't top the group because of other games. So we beat Sociedad in a difficult environment. But we basically set up like Sir Alex used to set up in Europe, where you build off your defence and you look to counter. It was the perfect away performance if 1-0 would have been a good score. Unfortunately, 1-0 wasn't a good score because we needed 2. But we never looked like conceding and we scored. It was a good away performance in Europe. The problem was we needed to score 2 goals and we just didn't really have any answers to do that. But there was never any point in the game where I thought we're going to win this game by 2-0. It was a counter-attack 1-0 win. It was never going to be a 2-0 win. And that's just the way it went, isn't it? So, yeah. Man of the match is difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. I think I'm going to give it to Martinez. I'm going to give it to Martinez, my vote. You could give it to De Gea for the double save, but I actually thought Martinez played really well. And I think the reason I'm going for Martinez, just before we find out who won man of the match, the reason I'm going to go for Martinez is because there was a moment that you could clip and you could use. And basically, it sits down any pundit who says that Martinez is going to get found out by a taller striker. It was a delightful cross by Sociedad to the penalty spot. Sorloth, who's 6'4", I think, has got the header. He's got the run. Martinez goes up with him and wins the header. 5'10" against 6'4". Do you know what the difference between 5'10" and 6'4" is? About 6 inches. That's the difference between 6'4", and 5'10". 6 inches. You've got professional pundits saying that a defender's going to get found out because of that. Martinez has got a very good leap. If he's only got to jump that big, they don't know what they're on about. They don't know what they're on about, is what I'm trying to say. Let's do man of the match. Garnacho, 41%. Well done. Well done. Is it a sympathy vote? No, he's a young lad who scored a goal in a big game against a decent side. Well done to Garnacho. I thought apart from the goal, he was very, very quiet, but I get it. For me, I would have given it to Martinez, but well done to Garnacho. He won't forget tonight, and hopefully he can build on it. He's a very talented player, and he is a positive. He's definitely a positive. Right, let's go over to the fan forum. Adam's over there. I think Kev's on. Everyone's having a chat. Get over there and continue it with the fan forum. And I'll speak to you all over there. Thanks for watching. Take care. Smash a like. I'll speak to you in a bit.